In this video we have an example of the low end of VCRs. This would have been a $99 special, probably right at the end. One of these dodgy LED display ones. Oh, it's even got a tape in it. It's the AWA brand, which has nothing to do with the original Amalgamated Wireless Australasia. I'm not even sure, it was just some Japanese badge they put on things. Mitsubishi Australia owned it and then just must have sold the brand name to someone, licensed it to them or whatever. And yeah, just your general cheap plastic. It's actually made in Korea, this one. Power BG, it's a W700. I don't know if I've even seen one of these before, because generally these things just got thrown away. Child lock digital auto tracking hyperband tuner. Once they failed, wasn't really the sort of thing worth fixing necessarily. We did fix a few of these cheaper ones eventually, and it's actually an orange display, not a green one like a lot were. So someone left a tape. I don't know if this thing's meant to work or not, but it was $5, and I thought I'll buy it just to have a look at something and see how rubbish it is. Though some of these didn't do too bad, these later machines. It looks very similar to an LG of that era, so maybe it is just an LG inside. I think the NECs ended up being LGs or something. Maybe they were Daewoo's. I used to like some capacitor in them, change value ever so slightly in the power supply and then stop working. Wasn't the easiest thing to find the first time. It does look a lot like an LG. I think I've actually got an LG that a friend wanted to get rid of, and I've got to sell it and have a garage sale and sell it sometime, but this does look very LG. And the LG ones weren't too bad, but very kind of plasticky stuff. Plastic gears. Quite a simple mech really, just very cheap pressed tin plate, very thin metal. L/size. No, nothing that really gives away where it came from. They all look pretty much the same at the end. Don't think it's the same power supply as the NEC one. Just a very basic plasticky machine. But I thought it'd be worth looking at just for the hell of it. I want to say for $5, have a look at it and throw it in the e-waste or whatever. Might be good for some of it with no remote. I'm not sure you can do everything on this. It's got most of the functions by the look of it, but only a mono, basic machine. Bit of a dodgy loading there. See if it actually has a picture on it. Well, that's the worst picture I've seen in a long time, and the sound's dodgy, but whether that's just the recording on this tape. Never trust a tape, especially when it's a blank one that someone's recorded on. A pretty horrible feeling loading mech, but you probably get used to it. Yeah, it does seem to have something coming and going on the picture. Some sort of weird dropouts on it. Let's check the heads are actually clean in this thing. Heads look very clean in this thing. Doesn't really look like it's done much work at all. It's like the heads have a piece cut out of the aluminium just before each head. Is that where the hi-fi head's going on another model or something? Never seen that before. But it's got a cutout. Very weird. cut out in the metal right where the head sits, but I guess 20 mils before it or something. Yeah, it's almost like they were starting to machine for a hi-fi machine and just left it. Why you would do that? Maybe there's a reason for that. I've never noticed that in a machine before. I'll clean the caps now, even though it won't make any difference to the playback. That's come good now. I think that was just dropouts at the beginning of the tape. Probably a bit dodgy, that tape, or maybe I damaged it. That seems to work. We do have channel and tracking buttons here. Let's try the tracking. Should be pretty auto, but if it's doing anything that's not showing on the screen. So that's it, not much to them. Oh, double click it to eject. Yeah, that just plugs straight in, made for easy assembly at the factory. Just usually pop the front off, take a couple of screws out, two there, and the whole mech you just pull out. Oh, you got to pull that plug. So that's about all there is to that one. Not sure what year this came out, but it's probably the year 2000, maybe even later. Certainly would have been one of the last ones they ever made. And yeah, about as unexciting as a VCR ever got. Just another sort of throwaway device. Just before they ceased to make them at all. Have we got something on the back? Oh, actually we've got dates. Maybe, I think it goes from 98 to 01 by the look of it. If that's what they are, which they probably are. 98 to 01. 9. Oh wait, what have they done? 8, 9, then X, Y, Z. So there's 12 possible things there. I don't know why they got so many dots in there, because they got dots for if the dots are indicative of something. Got dots in the later months, but of 99, 0. And possibly some in 01. Yeah, there's a few dots scattered about, so I'm not sure what they actually mean. In plastic type 06, we've got a recycling symbol, probably for the EU or something. PS, polystyrene, possibly. Doesn't look like your normal polystyrene, but I think there is a hard version of it. I wouldn't mind seeing what that motor is, but can we lift that up and see anything? Probably not. So yeah, I think basically it was only the Koreans making them at this point. The Japanese most likely had got out of it. They weren't a high margin machine anymore. And they just became very basic. They probably still made hi-fi ones maybe in Japan, but a lot of the others ended up like this, or even some I think came out of Turkey or somewhere. Some sort of weird European, again very cheap and nasty. I know TIAC put them out, and maybe some others. Had a really strange mechanism from memory. But most of the Asian ones were very much like this, very basic. And mechanically not too bad. But some of the Daewoo's and stuff had issues with their idlers. At least this one's actually got a metal piece on it, so that probably made these a lot more reliable. Because when they had plastic frames holding the gears, they often would bend a bit, and then you'd get intermittent chewing and stuff. And I remember I did get one from a friend's video store, which I can't remember if it was AWA or Mitsubishi. Might have actually been a Mitsubishi branded one. Again, probably a little bit earlier than this, but similar size machine. And the actual brakes in the tape, something had gone wrong and the brakes had locked. So when they put the tape in and the tape guys tried to come out, it snapped them something in the master cam there, broke the gear, and they couldn't even supply it as a part. So I think they had a bit of a promotion on with cheap DVD players. I think they just gave the guy a cheap DVD player to replace it, which suited them as well. Probably the customer thought they got a good upgrade, and the video store gets rid of use of videotapes, which are always a pain. But yeah, I couldn't believe that just from the guides not being able to move, it broke the actual master cam before it timed out or whatever. Normally they have a timeout if something doesn't move. The machine shuts down. But it basically, probably the lever, wherever the lever is, we can see it diagonally under there, goes back into the cam to run these things. Most likely that pin was there and the cam tried to turn and it just snapped through whatever plastic was around it. So that was the problem with these. It didn't take much to break them. But some of them were reasonably reliable. And a lot of the later TV videos and stuff, you get combo units have these sort of mechs in them. The DVD VCR combos, you'll find a mech very much like this in it. But, you know, possibly with hi-fi heads if it's actually one of those sort of combos. And yeah, they became very sort of generic things. But I thought I'd just have a quick look for old time's sake. These machines are the least interesting VCRs ever made as far as I'm concerned. They just not the slightest bit interesting inside. And yeah, you had to be something simple or it was a write-off. At $100 for a replacement, people weren't going to want you to spend much time or any parts on the things. But occasionally someone did just have caps fail in the power supply or something, you could fix it quickly and make a few dollars on it and keep the customer happy. Some people were still in the habit of getting things fixed even though they were barely worth it. And some of these second-hand stores like Cash Converters and that were actually selling these things for basically what they cost new without a warranty, because people didn't realise the price had come down and they used to VCRs being $300 or something. So I did see a few actually sell in some of these places for pretty much the retail price of a new one, even though they were out of warranty and had a year or two's use, because people were so used to paying more for the things and probably thought they got themselves a bargain. But I think we'll put the lid back on that and forget we ever saw it. Thanks for watching.